Well, can we start?
Yep. Let's get it.
Oh, okay. Guys, thank you so much for joining the AMA. It will be our first official recorded one. So, we should make some introductions. Who wants to start first?
I can
Uh,
open up. I'm
Absolutely.
Vu. I'm the founder of GoldMint. Um, we've been working on this project for about 2 months now, but we've only been at full deployment for 2 weeks. So we celebrated our 2 week anniversary just a couple of hours ago today. Um, my co-founder Doc is on here, and we had a vision together to have an algo stable that was pegged to something unique and sought stability in a unique way. And that's how I came to be running this protocol, and I'm having a lot of fun doing it.
That's great. So Doc, why don't you go next?
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, everybody. My name's Doc. As Vu said, I'm the co-founder, and really, where I came into play with this is I've been a long-time investor in, particularly in precious metals and gold, and with regard to the vision that Vu had, and with regard to our peg and the long-term capability of the protocol, it was something that was really, really appealing to me. My particular role with regard to the protocol is really involvement in management of the DAO, or our war chest, which is really critical in the long-term viability of what we're trying to do. And as Bruce said, since we've launched, we've already started to make some pretty aggressive contributions and makings of our DAO. So we're off to a pretty good start from that end, I think.
That's great. And I'm Zephyr. I'm the community manager for GoldMint. I was recruited by Vu, in around, I would say around a month, 2 months ago. I was
Yeah,
one of the
about
very
two
first
months.
people. Yeah, around there. I was recruited to help out and find people, and whatever GoldMint needed, I would find. And I've been really having a wonderful time with these guys, and can't wait to see to when it goes to the sky. Monkey, why don't you go next?
Yeah, I'm Monkey. I'm the guess like head or director of operations, kind of like a yes or no kind of guy, and help direct everything, the ideas, and I'm all around the community and everything with the social media and stuff like that. And yeah, I'm here for the long run. It's gonna be a great time.
Yeah. And I believe the only person we have left is Ness, uh, our project
That'd be
coordinator.
me. Yeah, my name's Ness. Like Zeph said, I'm the project coordinator. I basically just help keep the whole team organized and assist with a couple minor things, like graphics and whatnot. But I do gotta say, this team is awesome, and I'm really glad to be here with everybody. But yeah, really looking forward to seeing how the AMA goes from here.
She is the glue, guys.
Yeah,
Anyway, so
Ness undercredits herself. She is what helps the whole operation.
Thanks, guys.
She's
yeah,
setting up some fun game nights and stuff like that too. So she's going to help put some cool activities and stuff for the community to do outside of just talking about participating in DeFi. So she'll help us have some fun and not talk
Yeah.
about tokens all day long.
Why don't we let
So
absolutely.
her
that'll be cool too.
actually? Why don't we let her
Uh,
explain that just a little bit,
Before we get into it, sure, why not?
just a slight bit? Yeah.
Sure. The game night is something we've been trying to work on kicking off for a little while. Basically, just to kind of unite some of the different protocols and just have some fun, chill out and not just always talk about tokens. But just something to just kind of get everybody together, have some fun times, and get to know new people within the whole DeFi space. So it's definitely something that we're working on implementing a bit further now, along with me and Smacky. But yeah, definitely look out for some more news on that. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Um, so, Vu, why don't you start with the
Yeah, I'll do the GoldMint 101 a little bit. I can touch a little bit on news, since deployment and stuff. But for anyone who's new or anyone who's listening on recording or whatever, so we are an algo stable on Ethereum pegged to PaxG. Um, what that means is that our protocol has a token called GoldMint. Symbol is GLDM. And it uses an algorithm, it uses its own mechanics to try to maintain the price of another token on Ethereum. And that token is PaxG. It's a synthetic gold based backed token, a synthetic gold backed token. So PaxG is always worth the price of 1 ounce of gold. And then we seek to always be worth the price of 1 PaxG. And the way an algo stable works is that it always tries to find that balance. It's not always going to be at the price of 1 PaxG, but if it's trading for less than its desired price point, it will reduce its supply using bond and burn mechanisms until supply and demand match the price point that it seeks. And then if it reads its own price point and it finds out it's higher than needed, it will allow some more robust rewards to kick in to the people who participate in the protocol, and let that supply increase so that the price can come down to be more in line with PaxG. So that's how those types of protocols work, and that's what we seek. What's unique about us, I guess, is that a lot of algo stables or these algorithmic tokens seek to follow the price of another token that is a little bit more volatile. Some of them seek layer 2 tokens, especially like Phantom or AVAX or things like that. We definitely saw this weekend there was some volatility in those markets. So by having a stable peg like PaxG and by being on a network like Ethereum, we're hoping to have a little bit more stability. We also set it up to have 2-year emissions instead of 1 year, which is the standard rewards process for one of these. And we have some really cool ideas with the DAO, which I won't get into too much. I'll let Doc touch on most of that, but a way to even increase those rewards further past the 2-year emissions. And we'll get into that, a little bit further later on too. So we're 2 weeks old. It's been 2 weeks since our full protocol deployment. We're seeking stability in a pretty volatile market. It's definitely a tough time. It's been a rough last couple weeks and even couple months in DeFi, but I don't think that should stop ambitious protocols or good projects from launching or trying to enter the market. So we're comfortable with doing that. Like I said, being on Ethereum and being pegged to PaxG is going to help us attract more stable protocol participants who are in it for the long haul. Are going to help us achieve our goal of reaching and maintaining that peg. We did have our own struggles when we started off. We went through a Genesis launch, which means our tokens are emitted for free. So the very, very first people to hear about GoldMint were the first ones to receive GoldMint. And we built an amazing community from that Genesis launch and just really, really built a good foundation. But there are always people who will leave a process where you give them free tokens, being it Genesis or an airdrop, that are going to sell them and lower the price. So we had to start at a low price and work our way up. It's been a good battle. I almost enjoy the fight. It's kind of like earning our peg instead of some of these ones on layer 2s that use, I don't know, tricks or different mechanics to make it look real appealing at first. Every day we're working hard to earn that price that our protocol seeks. And at the same time, the protocol is doing its work in helping burn tokens and reduce the supply until the supply and demand gets us where we need to be as well. We're a pretty active group. For being only 2 weeks old, we have a couple partnerships. We're active in a couple DeFi groups. You might see us in like Raiders of DeFi or the DeFi Hub or, around in a couple places like that. We have a couple partner protocols that have been really good to us. 2 established ones are Great Finance and Alto, who's also has Ames Finance too. So we've been building some really good relationships. We're starting to maybe catch the eye of people. The Tomb Fork scene has had a lot of launches of people who didn't have a long-term vision, and we're really trying to set ourselves up for the long term, and we're doing a good job of building good friends who see what we're working on and want to help us accomplish that vision. We're building some fun friends too. One of the guys in the server runs a merch company, and he set up a little bit of GoldMint merch online. I'll see if we got a link for that somewhere. So we got all kinds of cool partnerships. We got some development partnerships going on with some real good guys who are working on stuff behind the scenes that we can't always talk about. And some partnerships with some bigger players on Ethereum too. That's another part of the reason, we picked Ethereum, was so that we would be able to reach out to, larger players, and see if we could use some of the mechanisms that they've created on Ethereum to help improve the algo stables. There's folks out there. We're looking at potentially finding a way to implement Chainlink. I think Chainlink is really interesting, and could really do something interesting with the peg instead of needing to be pegged necessarily to another token. If you look at what they provide with their data feeds and stuff, you can start to think how you could pick your peg to be something that wasn't necessarily a token on the network you were on. So we're looking into that on the back end, and we're on Ethereum. There's big players who are doing really cool things with bonds on Ethereum, and we're looking into other ways to use our bond program and kind of expand that. And then obviously one of our biggest innovations, I think, is the shares, really, that we've set ourselves up to have 2 years of emissions of a share token. There's a reward token in these algo stable protocols. Ours is called GoldMint Shares. Its symbol is SGLDM. And that reward only emits for 2 years. There's a finite supply. And we have a really cool idea about using our DAO to kind of replace the share tokens at the end of the 2-year standard emissions with more like a dividend style token. And maybe I could even let Doc jump in here and share a little bit about what our DAO is trying to do that's different than other DAOs, and what that might be able to do to help support the protocol and the peg.
Perfect. That's a good intro for me to hop in. Thank you. So it's like Vu said, from the start, we've had some very clear vision for the DAO. We've been very fortunate to have a really solid community and investor backing who's committed to the long term. And really, the DAOs had two main functions that we're striving for right now. It's primarily to support the protocol and help maintain peg. And then long term, it's going to be able to provide recurrent, steady, stable yield, and very likely to the share token holders. So we're doing this in an aggressive fashion. I personally look at it as not only some insurance or a moat, but really combining all those factors into one and trying to use our DAO in a more aggressive than traditional fashion to support the protocol. So we've actually already made some really big steps, in my opinion, because of some of the donations that our community and our investor community in particular has been able to make. The DAO's in a very strong position now to support the protocol in a number of ways, and we have some things planned in the future to help start to put some bullets in the gun, for lack of a better term, and really be able to make some more aggressive moves with not only supporting the protocol and maintaining peg, but also with some of our partners, and to start increasing yield on the DAO. So as Vu said, it's a unique, aggressive concept, and I think we're already off to a good start.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
100% agree.
Well,
So,
good. That covers the basic outline of what GoldMint is, and what our basic vision is, and how we're going to use the protocol and the algo stable ecosystem to try to establish that vision, in conjunction with the DAO. We can start to move into maybe a little bit of alpha and what we're working on coming up, and what we're doing next.
who wants to claim that glory for themselves?
I don't know if it's any glory, but you're going to keep seeing the same theme with us. And I say it for a reason. We're committed to improving the burn and the bond mechanisms, the PEG and the share tokens, the reward mechanisms. If we can continue to improve and innovate the three aspects that make these algo stables work, not only can we be a great protocol, but we can be the best one that utilizes these mechanisms. It really is within reach. And one of the things I want to do is something that's been established by a couple other good protocols already, and that is incorporating nodes to start to acquire some of the tokens that we need, that our protocol needs, and that our DAO needs, and to reward our earliest and best participants. By moving to a node program early, the people who have GoldMint right now and the people who have GoldMint bond tokens right now are the folks who've been with us since the beginning or have heard about us and are really excited about us. It's not something that they just ended up with by chance. You actually had to be kind of looking to find us at this point. So we think it's a good opportunity to do something like that. We're about to enter a robust reward system, and we haven't even printed for our first, epoch yet. So once we hit PEG, I think there's going to be a great opportunity to open up some of that reward system to take care of the people who were here at the beginning and helped us and help the protocol and help the DAO do what it needed to do. So we are going to open up a whitelist for our nodes. So our nodes are not going to be open participation like a lot of the protocol was. It's going to be by whitelist only. And there might be a time in the future where it moves to not being whitelist only, but I don't mean in 24 hours or 48 hours like some of these launches are. That the nodes are only for those who are whitelisted, and that's on purpose. And because we're committed so much to our bondholders, I can say that there's a really good chance that there's going to be one node made available, or just about one node made available for every bond that's on the market right now. And there's a good chance you folks are all going to find yourselves on that whitelist very soon. There's going to be some other ways to get on. They are going to be made available for people who want to join. And then they will also be able to be gained from doing some promotions, rewards, some of our partners, some of our partner protocols and friends, and some of the people who are out there talking about our project and things like that. We'll have some rewards out there in the community too. But that's the way this is going to be set up, is that by moving to nodes, we're going to be able to acquire 2 of the tokens that we need. Our nodes are going to be for GoldMint and GoldMint bond tokens. And we're going to try to get them set up in a way that gets you guys who participate in the node program a way to get a increased share of the rewards locked down. And we'll have some more details about that and exactly how we want to do that soon. But that's going to be the next move to support the DAO doing the burn and the bonds, is reacquiring some GoldMint and some GoldMint bond tokens by trading some really good rewards to the folks who've been with us since the beginning.
Yeah,
100%.
we should hopefully be able to reward the bondholders specifically a little bit extra. We can't exactly say details yet. We still really have to work out all the finalizations of everything, because as Vu said, this is going to take us, it's not just going to roll out in a couple days or anything. It's probably going to be a week or two.
Yeah, for times. That's actually a great point, Monkey. I like to move quickly. I always say the speed of DeFi. Like I said, we're only 2 weeks in, but not too quickly. So I think this whitelist is going to be open for 2 weeks. We're going to start it this Friday at noon Eastern time. And we're going to run it till, I guess, Friday, what would be Friday the 20th at noon Eastern time. So this isn't your only chance to figure out how it's going to work out and what's going on, but that's going to be the path to getting in on the node program. It's going to be to reach out to either us, our friends, or our partners, or the people who are helping us get the word out about it, and seeing if you can either win a spot, or there'll be 500, I think, made available for purchase. I think the price is 0.125 PAX G a piece, and that goes directly to the DAO. I think 80% of it goes to support the protocol directly, and some of it goes to compensate some of the marketing and outreach and things we have to do to get the word out. So it's not just the small group of us, that are participating, but that there's others, that our community is growing too at the same time.
Yep, 100%, Boo. Um, so now we're going to, would you like to start bringing up people to ask questions, or do you want to read the questions in the, AMA discussion channel first?
I'll just quickly touch
We
up
can
quick
go
that
through the ones
like
that
you
people
ever
typed up real quick. I haven't even clicked over just because
Oh, but
I've
Monkey,
been
what do you want to touch over on just a quick second?
just just gonna like mention again, like we're gonna be giving away some probably B gold mints and bonds a little bit. Just ask some questions and participate a little bit, and you can enter a chance to win.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly it.
But I can start off while you guys are now starting to scramble to think of some good questions with some of these ones in the text chat. COX Moon King, what happens once we reach max supply of shares? So at the exact moment we reach the maximum supply of shares, we are going to switch to a dividend style token, and that is going to be supported by the DAO. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to use the DAO, as Doc said, to, kind of in two ways, to support the protocol and to acquire synthetic gold-backed tokens. And while it's supporting the protocol, it will be generating yield, on the tokens that aren't simply gold-backed tokens that aren't yield generating. And they're going to take that yield on a daily or on an epoch basis or something like that and turn that into a new type of reward that's backed by synthetic gold tokens. So now instead of getting a share token for participating in the vault, the farms page on our site, you will get this. I don't want to call it a dividend token. It's a dividend style token. It's the majority of the rewards earned by the DAO for the day given to you folks for participating in the best way possible. And it's going to be something concrete that's backed by those holdings of the DAO.
In addition,
And we'll
real
do
quick,
this without decreasing the holdings of the DAO. The point is not to take the PAX G and the synthetic gold that the DAO builds over 2 years and then start chopping it up, to do a dividend style token. It's to keep gaining yield with the half of its holdings that aren't the gold backed tokens and continue to grow the amount of gold backed tokens that it holds. That DAO war chest and the amount of synthetic gold in there should always be growing, even if 99% gets paid out, in that dividend style token to the vault participants. The DAO should always be growing the amount of synthetic backed gold holdings that it has.
Wouldn't you agree with that, Doc? Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
absolutely. I mean, that's that's the absolute essence of the DAO and the war chest, and it's what it's going to do whenever emissions stop. The one thing I was going to add is that the share tokens are very likely also going to have a large role in the governance, right? The governance of the DAO and the war chest moving forward after emissions of the share tokens cease. So I think there's two potential benefits: not only the dividend type payment that will be come out and that will be consistent and ideally anti-volatility, but also the potential vote for governance and having control over the DAO and potentially the liquidity that the DAO owns. So that in itself could be very, very appealing to people.
Yeah, I should let you take that whole question. For what separates a project from other Toon Forks and what kind of innovation is planned for the near future, I'm just going to say that I hope that, we've touched on a little bit of that, but, doing the things with the nodes, looking at different ways to improve the peg, the burn, and, like Doc just said, to share the reward tokens.
And like
We're going to try
chain
to
link
innovate on all those
integration
fronts.
as well.
Jorge asking about the nodes, how much will it cost to buy one, and maybe the ROI in tokens or bonds per day? That's a good question. We're still working on the ROI estimates. We're trying to iron out some of the details. But as far as the cost, I think what we are going to do is when the protocol decides to release nodes from time to time, they're going to cost one gold mint or one bond gold mint a piece. But for the folks on this first round, for this whitelist in the first round, and when you're on this whitelist, you're not only going to be eligible for the first round, but you're also going to be eligible for any other round of nodes that we released. But at least at a minimum for this first round, I think we're going to do a 20% discount. So you can expect the nodes to cost 0.8 GoldMint or 0.8 bond GoldMint a piece in this first round. And we'll be looking at an ROI in tokens, that makes that very appealing, but the exact numbers aren't finalized yet. Our nodes dependent on the pyramid. If the APR gets lower, if people don't keep making them, if the treasury is ready to top up the rewards pool. So that is a good question. I don't know if I would word it in the exact same way, but our nodes are hopefully going to be set up so that in a favorable market when we're trading over peg, they're definitely a good thing to participate in, even if the amount isn't growing, exponentially. And then is the treasury ready to top up the reward pool? I do believe our DAO is extremely committed to this node program. And we're already talking about things we can do, maybe dropping some extra share rewards or bonuses in times where that needs to be dropped, or even ones just for, everyone, that doesn't need to be at a special time.
Yeah, and if I can back up Vu on that statement, 100% the DAO is willing, ready, and in a position to be able to do that. And again, we have, in my opinion, obviously I'm a little bit biased, but we have fantastic investor support, and we're very well positioned with regard to tokens and protocol tokens, and right now being able to use those in the best interest of the protocol and getting to peg and maintaining it. So it was 100%
Definitely
correct.
room for airdrops and stuff if there's a time where that helps the node holders feel properly compensated. Adam 20054 plans for
Oh,
internal
hey, Adam.
external audit. Yeah, so we were audited actually pre and post deployment by Raiders of DeFi. Our contract auditor was Philip. He's a really sharp guy, and he did a good job. But we're open to continuing audits. Just like I said, we're continuing innovation, and we should continue to plan for audits. So as we do this node thing, I'll try to look at having someone review that and get you guys a favorable audit on that code
And then
and
Dan,
anything else we implement as well. So yeah, for future as well. And currently, yes, we have some.
and Daniel, from Gray Finance, are there any plans for cross-chain partnerships? As I'm sure many protocols would be interested. Only problem is that Ethereum, as we all know, is expensive. Should you want to answer that, or should I?
Yeah, you can take that one.
So we already have plans in the works for other cross-chain partnerships, but we also work with Alto. We are partnered with them. We're quite close. I am also a mod there. And then there is also at the moment Grape Finance. And in the works. The I guess we could say we are also talking to Moonvault about various things. These are on the Binance Smart Chain. As well as a wonderful group on AVAX. Another one.
So
That
yeah,
answer you?
super open to cross-chain partnerships. There's a lot of things partners can do. Remember, we're on Ethereum, so we're an EVM chain. So first is as far as the code and different folks that can do anything with bridging or things like that, we can open up some coded partnerships if that's specifically what you're referring to. But also just things with development, DAO, treasuries, shared investments, promotions and stuff together. Absolutely. There's so much we can do with the folks on other chains.
Okay, DeFi Donnie asks, what will the functions of the war chest be beyond node management, and what assets will be targeted to populate it?
I can take this one, no problem, Zep. So what? Let's start off at the back end. So what assets are going to be targeted? I think the initial answer to that question is going to be PAX G as well as protocol tokens, right? That's and then included in that, I would say, is going to be protocol owned liquidity. That's going to be primary number one. The next is going to be, as we have already mentioned, I think partnership assets that most likely are going to be yield earning and then are going to be reinvested. I think following that, most likely stables. And again, we have some partners that are able to potentially provide some vaults for us that to earn excellent yield on that. And then a mixed portfolio, I would say, of potentially, majors or developmental projects. So the idea is going to be to build out the portfolio, particularly in these first 24 months, to be able to support the protocol if and when needed, whether it's with burns, whether it's with buybacks, whatever it may be, while at the same time increasing the other portfolio assets that are designed to be yield earning. And ultimately, my goal is that at the end of 24 months, the composite would be 50% PAX G, and then the other 50% would be mixed assets, obviously including a large portion of GoldMint tokens.
Yes. Thank you, Doc.
Sure.
So, Jorge asks, are you going to release different node tires with different rewards or just one? And if you are planning to change some kind of charge some kind of taxes and claiming the rewards to prevent a massive drop in the price.
So this version is probably going to be a little bit simpler than that. I don't believe this first version of Nodes is going to have tiers, I guess is the best answer. And this version of Nodes will probably not have a tax on it. We're definitely looking at a lot of things we can do with the system. It's our first time, releasing a node contract. But for now, it's just going to be one tier. And I don't want to speak for certain. We may have a small tax on it. But it's going to be a pretty simple first version rolled out. Trying to set it up simple with good rewards, pretty much.
We're adaptive. We'll do what we need to do. And that's about it. Now, Annalise and Kitty is creating upgraded contracts and may offer audit services. Y'all can consider cat hugs.
That's honestly worth touching on. We haven't set up a formal partnership with Kitty, but they are awesome and they have great developers. And Annalise is really fun. She's in every cool server you want to be in. So yeah, there's definitely lots of folks out there that we're working with. We don't just audit by using paid audit services. It's nice to talk to each other. When you have other friend protocols you can trust and other devs that are sharp that are working on something different, you can bounce your ideas off each other. It's almost like science. You need the communication. You can't be in a closed. You need to share your ideas and check them.
Yeah. So why don't if we're all willing to do this, why don't we invite some people up if they're interested in talking?
We
As the
will
next part.
try to get some hands raised. Compensation structure for the team. Yeah, compensation structure is pretty much success-based paid. So I think the team gets 5% of the total emissions, and those get split up, between the development and investors, the team members, contributors, mods, a lot of different people. It's primarily in share tokens, and when we have a successful protocol, we can sell those for a decent salary. And if we don't have a successful protocol, we can't. Yeah, guys, where can I check invites? I don't know. We're not super into invites like everybody else. Zeph will tell you what the command is.
I can check it for you, man. Is it your personal command? I'll go check it out very
He'll get
soon.
you
But
that answer individually.
yeah, no.
Yeah. Thank you
Everyone.
for the compliment, Jorge. There is no
Uh,
invite tracker. Yeah, we're really not that into invites. I am really fun. Yeah.
uh,
That,
uh,
that is
are there any
that's
plans to be listed on central exchanges? And are there any plans to be get listed on CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap, etc.?
Appreciate the compliment on the burn there. Yeah. So CEXs I'm not going to touch on yet. That's decision to be made in the future when you're at a certain size. And there's pros and cons to that. Plans to list on CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, absolutely. Monkey and I have filled out the application for both of them, submitted our information for them to update those listings. It's not a overnight process, but we're looking at that. And the awesome Guapo from Grape, I think, even offered to sponsor our first D-Bank listing. So yeah, every day we're going to work on reaching out to those folks. We just reached out to DEX Screener and Etherscan to invert our pair. Some of you guys notice when you go to check the price, you have to click invert pair every time. That's both annoying and creates, annoying data as well. So they're taking care of that. We're reaching out to all those folks to get ourselves listed and get that data out there for you guys. Plans for NFTs, since it's been successful, especially on ETH. I think there could be some cool routes for NFTs, but man, we have been so busy like correcting little UI kinks and working on some of this node stuff behind the scenes. And we have one or two other little bits of alpha that's not quite ready to be released yet. So there might be a route for some fun golden style NFTs, Graz.
Guys, we
But
will
nothing
rip out
official in the
the
works yet.
alpha eventually. We will rip out the
Oh.
alpha eventually. But anyone else want to come up and ask a question? We've been
Yeah.
kind of just
Oh,
doing
yeah.
it.
Look at you. Look, I want to talk to you about nodes. You have a good reputation. I see that you're working on a project too about sharing things about node projects. Yeah, we'll expand there. But let's get questions. Did anyone want to speak a question? I don't want to give no one a chance to raise their hand because I'm reading all the text ones. Did anyone specifically want to come on stage? You can raise your hand.
Let me.
In front of the text message
Adam,
people.
do you
Most
want?
people like to text anyways.
Adam, you want to come up and say hi? I talked to Adam before. He helped us create our EtherGas bot.
Yeah, nobody has to.
Shout out Adam for that. You should explain that a little bit, Zeph.
Oh yeah, so I thought I would it's 12:40 a.m. I'm sorry, Brand. But Adam created our Ether Gas Alert bot. Where you can go to Reaction Roll's channel. Click the button to get a gas alert. When Gwei is below 25 or at 25 and below, you will get alerted. It's a prime time to do transactions and things like that on the ETH mainnet. Yeah, so that's all about it. We got to thank Adam for making it.
Yep, shout out Adam. That's going to be
Yeah.
awesome. We also do have some more price bots and Epoch and Peg coming. I think they're just being like literally made. I think a couple were made today, but I think they're just hopefully be ready tomorrow or something. But yeah,
Adam
they'll
says
there
there'll
this
be an
weekend.
update. Looking for gold, guys. Looking for gold.
Ooh. Let's go.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there's constant stuff like that goes on. It's a great effort. We really have the best team. I mean, these guys don't get enough thanks. Nest Monkey, Zaf, all our mods, contributors. I see Graz in here. We got a couple other folks around that couldn't be in the AMA today, but we have really good commitment. We have really good friends and partners, and little just outreach has gone such a long way. We meet people here, and I mean, just like Adam here with these price bots and stuff. So it's been really cool just being part of this community. Having this team and this group of friends, and you guys, as participants in the protocol. It's been a really good experience for me too. So I appreciate all of you.
Yeah, I personally want to thank the community for everything. There's been some awesome people around in chat, and the things everybody says it's super kind. And it's really awesome to see.
It's a really nice, compared to I'm not from DeFi originally. I've only been here for 3 months. It's one of those nice cozier servers. It's small now. Maybe it'll get bigger. Hopefully it'll retain that same atmosphere and vibe, once we go to 1,000 members, 2,000 members, maybe even higher.
Yeah,
we'll keep growing. Just keep doing it slow and steady. Like I said, it's a great foundation we have here. We'll keep building on it. That's probably why the guy was thinking, why doesn't he care about invites? Well, I do care about invites, but we ran an invite contest, and it was if you invited 2 people, you were disqualified. So you were only allowed to invite one good friend that you trusted. So I don't know. We have a little bit of a different style over here, but it's real early. You're all super early. It's only this start of the second week of this project. they're going into the third week here now, so it's going to be a lot of cool things in store for you guys.
Absolutely. So if no one Jorge wants to say thank you, mate. We'll get you right up right here. Invite to
In
speak.
5 years, I want to be at 1.1 peg doing just what we're doing right now. Maybe
Hello.
there'll be like 400 people in the AMA. Who knows?
Hi, Jorge. How are you?
Fine, thanks. I'm not a native English speaker. That's why I was typing using the Google Translator, but I will try to do my
Oh,
best.
No, you're doing
no,
great. That's
you're
perfectly
doing
fine.
great. Thank you so much. We'll take your time and be quiet.
Yeah. Are you going to use the model of other successful nodes in the market as an example to develop your own nodes? Or maybe get some
Yeah.
mentoring on the know-how to develop the project in the right way?
Yes, so we are looking at some other successful node projects. I don't know if I want to say exactly, but like we like EMP, we like what Grape's doing. There's a couple other good ones out there. I don't know. I don't want to pick too many, but yes, we will look at tried and tested code that's worked for other folks on other EVM chains, and we will probably start there and build our features off of it. This is going to be our first go around at nodes, not our last one. So it's not going to be about developing the craziest, most innovative node system ever. We're going to look for simple things that have worked before, and we're going to start there, and we're going to expand. And that's how you're going to see every aspect of this protocol.
Yeah,
That's an awesome question.
that's the important thing that you have to make for the simple way and the successful way to improve something, I guess. And maybe in the future, in the V2, maybe make some improvements, or I don't know.
Yeah, there will definitely
There's
be a lot of
always
things.
room to improve. You
Yeah,
don't even need
exactly.
a V2. There's always, you should be innovating every day. When you launch a protocol, you forget about it. That's when it starts to not be in its most successful time. You want to continue to innovate every day, and we'll definitely try to do that for you guys
Yeah,
the best way.
exactly.
And
There's
for
definitely
the
going to be
final
lots
quote,
coming. This isn't
is
just going to be.
some friend on the chat in the discussion chat told something about audits. You are going to deploy any audit before you release the notes to verify the contract or something, because it's very delicate as the thing to.
Yes, good. And we touched on that briefly, but yes, that is our intent. We had our original contracts audited, but as we develop and implement new features, we plan on continuing to do additional audits before we kind of make that stuff available to you guys, just for common sense and safety and our own reputation.
Well, thank you for the time and the comprehension of my no sé, bad language.
No,
Sorry.
thank you for taking the stage and for the great questions.
Yeah, thank
No,
you.
thank you so much, man.
Does anyone else, or if you have any more questions, or if anyone else wants to take the stage, you can raise your hand. Anything else?
Oh, DeFi Donnie, we're going to hear his beautiful voice for the first time, guys.
You can come on up.
Yep, I invite you up to speak, Don.
Yeah,
Feel
just
free.
accept it.
Yep.
Sometimes it's just fun to raise your hand.
Oh,
It's
yes.
like that anticipation. But what else can we say?
Oh,
Hello.
hey, Don.
There
Hi,
he is.
Donnie. How are you?
Hey guys. Hey, big shout out to you guys. Awesome job with the protocol thus far.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So what is
Yeah, I
your
really
question, my man?
appreciate all the positive vibes. Yeah, I heard you guys talking a little bit about nodes and NFTs, and I was wondering if there was any plans for maybe some like asset-backed NFTs. I think it could be kind of a cool way to add some buying pressure to GLDM if maybe there was some PAX G, even just like partial backing. And then once we go over peg, we could use some of that Pax G to buy GLDM. And it could help offset some of the, people redeeming bonds who might be looking to cash out. But yeah, I was just wondering if there was any plans
Like,
for like.
I was just gonna say that's the second time someone suggested that, but you actually closed it out with a really robust idea. That's the first time I heard exactly that. But yeah, it's really cool. There's a couple other folks out there that have NFTs that have some sort of tokenized backing, something more than just the artwork. And we're doing some fun stuff with the gold back tokens over here. And I just think there could be a really appealing NFT where it was like, oh, by the way, like, if you happen to get the rare edition, there's an ounce of synthetic gold tied in there. So I think that's a super cool suggestion.
Yeah, beautiful. Awesome. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
No
thank
problem.
you.
Thank you so much, Donnie. Or you can stay here up and just,
Next ones.
Yeah. So the next one. So Rambo did ask some questions.
I missed it.
Will us current GoldMint holders be given whitelists, or what's the requirements for the whitelist at the moment? He just wanted to know if
The
that was touched.
exact requirements are not dropped. Just owning GoldMint will not likely guarantee being whitelisted, but participating in the protocol and participating in the community, participating in the AMAs, participating in the Discord is all going to be stuff that can get you in that direction.
The more you active and interact, the more you interact with our protocol, the more active you are in our community.
Besides, our moderator will be releasing some details about that. But no, there are going to be some special whitelist, like guaranteed access and stuff for some of our bond. Oh, I don't know if I said it now. For some of our bond gold holders. I don't think there's going to be guaranteed access.
Alpha get dropped,
for
man.
GoldMint, but you're going to find a lot of the folks who are holding GoldMint right now are participating in the right way to get themselves in. And then the cost is also going to be pretty reasonable compared to when we release the reward structure. I think no matter which way you choose to get into the whitelist, it's going to be a great opportunity.
Yeah, it's not going to be like a crazy difference or anything, but there will be definitely a little bonus incentive.
Yep, cool. Good. Did I miss anything else? Anything else in discussion or questions? Nodes will have a minimum timeline or a maximum ROI. That detail is being finalized. The exact maximum length, be it in a time or an ROI. We don't have an exact answer. Rambo, you are super active. I told you at the beginning, you're the first guy who caught my eye because he got a .eth name. Other valid questions. Wellness, also an awesome active community member. Well, great. That's great. This is now just everybody getting excited, which is cool. So thank you guys all. We're happy that you're here. I appreciate you taking the time to hang out with us.